Hey, Pretty and Pride listeners, we have missed you and it feels so good to be back in the stew. This week, Ken and I go through our recent travels. One of us heads to India, the other heads to Iowa. Very different, but very interesting trips. We get caught up on the new movie release, Weapons. We go through our question of the week, and then we end with our weekly ins and outs. Thank you for being patient, and thank you for coming back, baby.
Okay. I don't fear no man, but I'ma still put 60 in this Drake. Set it off like Queen Latifah, nigga playing with my cake. Split the bag up with my brother, 50-50 what we made. I can't let no nigga eat that ain't contribute to this plate. Run it up,
We're back, baby. Yes, we are back in the stew. Welcome, Pretty and Pride listeners. I am your host, Ken. And I'm your host, Kiki. And it's been a minute. It has been a minute. An unplanned-ish minute. Yeah. In the sense that we had some weekends that we thought we were going to record. I had a weekend where I did record, and we just didn't get, it just wasn't working out for a variety of reasons. So it does feel good to be back. Mm-hmm. As we've learned before, it's kind of like a how Stella got her groove back situation where you have to kind of like come back and warm up and get back. Did we learn that? Because that movie is does not age well. I was really just referring to getting used to recording again. I don't even know if I can remember the plot of that movie. So we won't go into it, but I did watch it relatively recently, and it was an insane journey. Sure. Okay. It's like, where do we even start? A lot has happened since our last episode, which I haven't listened to, but I'm sure we were talking about our two main trips. I was going to India. Mm-hmm. You were going to Iowa. Sounds ridiculous in comparison, but yours was for fun. Yeah. And mine was for work. Yeah, but you've been wanting to go back to India, so you got to accomplish that. Yes. But your one journey was not like the last. Kind of a nightmare trip. Like it just was one of those nightmares where I'm like, wow. But it's so interesting because I also feel like it was like a great trip. Like when I was there, I loved India. I loved seeing my colleagues. I really enjoyed that portion of it. But they did lose or delay my luggage for the entirety of my stay there. I did break a toe. We had a death in the family. The morning of, I forgot this. I was thinking about this morning when I was showering. The morning of, I almost went blind in the shower. And I was like, it burned so bad. I literally thought my cornea detached. So it was just like one of those trips where I was like, okay, everything that could go wrong did. But I kept a positive attitude anyways. Proud of you. Like Bonnaroo. Yes. Even though Bonnaroo, I think, ruined me. I was telling producer when I attempted to record last week solo that, I'm just not the same person I was before we went to Tennessee. And, honestly, when you think about the, really the scope of that trip, not even just, having hopes and dreams dashed, really it shouldn't have been that bad if, we stayed in a motel, we rested up. I should have been well rested, but no, I feel like I did not recover for quite some time. I was a good person at the beginning of the year. And then after Bonnaroo, I'm a piece of shit now. Yeah. Food, body, everything we worked for was up in flames. Yeah. Embers. Gone. So, yes, I did keep a positive attitude, and I ended up getting new stuff day one, and the airline did reimburse me for all of that. But even outside of that part, it was just annoying because it was really stressful trying to track my luggage. Yeah. I thought they only fly this route to Hyderabad once a day, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll put it on the next plane out. No. Oh my gosh, I'm calling. They're like, we have to track it down, and you have to call United and say that you need to release it to us. I'm like, isn't that your partner airline? Why do I have to do all that? And, just tons of logistics around it and stress that, I was only there for 5-ish days. So, is it even going to make it here before I start heading stateside again? Where's my stuff? Because at this point, it's not even that, I need it for the trip. I just need it because I like my stuff. So, But that worked out. And then also on the trip, we worked. We got a lot done work-wise. But we ate so much good Indian food. I was like, it's just a smattering from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. I packed on 10 pounds easy. And I love my colleagues there. They're like, we're going to have a light lunch today. It was 10 courses. I'm like, A light lunch doesn't offer 2 chicken options plus a biryani plus a dessert plus, I like, this is okay, your definition of light, when in Rome. So I'm here to soak up the culture. So you tell me I'm supposed to stuff my face silly.
Bro,
so, yeah.
I think I had lost 20 pounds before Bonnaroo. I've gained that 20 pounds back for sure.
Yeah.
I've just been a garbage pail ever since.
It's like it's just very hard to like, I don't know. So yeah. And then I was like, I'm in India. Well, I'm in India. I got to enjoy all the Indian food. And now my stomach's expanded and it's a never ending hunger monster in there now. So yeah.
You had this idea while you were gone that I should record a solo episode.
Yes.
I had all of these concepts, none of which I executed on.
You didn't.
So that was a failure on my part, but it was just the timing of everything has
hard.
just been so busy. Like you mentioned, it's like Bonnaroo just disrupted the universe. And then come back, I have to say goodbye to my family pet, right? And then you're traveling. We're dealing with our family in another part of the country that is going through their own tragedy. So then, dealing with that, plus all of the work, all of the life stuff. It was just like so much going on.
Yeah, and still is. But like, I feel like this week I'm trying to get back into a routine. I did try to also record a solo episode. I think it would have been good, but I went in no plan. I went in a little too confident. I was like, I'm just going to riff it, let's go. And then I talked about really a lot about my luggage being lost and nothing about what I actually did in India, which was eat. So I was like, oh, that's not a vibe, actually. I haven't listened to it yet. It might be one of those hidden bangers,
Like a B-reel?
like an archive. So we'll see one day. But
Yeah.
I agree. Like, it's been tough. But, well, I'm like, okay, it's okay. We're back in routine this week. And then next week, you and producer go somewhere else, and I'm responsible for all the dogs. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
I'm going to figure out a way to stay in routine because I just can't be disrupted. Let disruption disrupt me is really what it is.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's what, August? Bonnaroo was early June.
Yeah. Like, at what point do you stop throwing a pity party for yourself? But
No.
like, not even an intentional pity party. It's just like I'm a changed woman since I got back, and it's not good. The changes are for the worst.
The disruption was so gargantuan, though, because it's like, okay, you're preparing for this thing. You've traveled there. So coming back, it was really hard to get back into like the routine of life. In addition to everything else going on.
Constantly have to relive the disappointment for everyone that asks you how your vacation was. Like,
Yeah.
and I had to talk about it 20 times, how this was the worst vacation ever. And I still think about it all the time, Like, oh, when I was at Bonnaroo, it's ruined.
Yep. And
so.
I went in like, I had all these cute looks. I had all of these cute plans, dashed, destroyed.
You want to know what's crazy? I haven't told you this, but what I think about a lot, a vision that plays in my head when I think about Bonnaroo is when we were setting up the outdoor space, the first major chore that we undertook outside of the shopping. So I don't know. We were setting up the outdoor space and we were listening to music. There's a very distinct version in my head of you dancing. You just did this little bop while the music was playing while we were setting up the tent. And that is the amalgamation, personification of all the hopes and dreams we had in that moment. Like the way that you bopped was like, we're finally here. You didn't say any of this, you just went, looked up and went, yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's what I think about all the time. How we had so much hope, and then it just went freaking down so far. So when I think about that vision of you in my head, pops up at least once a day, honestly. First of all, you look so fucking cool, like doing it. And then I was like,
It's like a movie cutscene.
just like us in that conference. I must have been looking at it when it happened and been like, yeah, we are finally here, we are. This is so cool. Like, my sister's like, we're setting this up. This is having a good time. Like, I'm buying into the vision you're selling by you nodding your head. And then the horror strikes. And it's like, and then it's just us in the comfort inn watching Forensic Files with a window unit AC, not even a real one, so it's a skank hotel. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So anyways, That being said, you got back from India,
and that following week, I think you got back, what, on a Saturday?
I got back like late Friday, yeah.
Late Friday. So that day, or maybe while you were in India, we found out that we needed to fly.
It was while I was in India. We needed to go to Houston.
We needed to go to Houston for a memorial service.
Yes.
For a death in the family. And so this service is taking place the
Tuesday.
day before I fly to Iowa.
It's insane.
Which I was just like, all right, this is just a lot logistically to kind of figure out. And like, I don't fly enough to know the rules, regulations, because I'm over here like, okay, I could fly directly from Houston to Des Moines. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what happens to a ticket if you don't start, like if you don't show up for the first part of the ticket and just like book a different ticket.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, we got to figure this out. So we ended up flying to and from Houston the same day.
Big city girls.
I have not packed for this Iowa trip. I don't even know who like you mentioned, I don't even know who I am. I'm like, okay, I'm going for this music festival in Iowa. I don't even know what to pack, so I have not packed.
Yeah.
So the entire day in Houston, I'm just thinking like, okay, I got to get back.
You got chores to
11
do.
p.m. and pack for my other 8 a.m. flight, basically, the next day.
The best is sitting on that plane on the way to Houston, and I look at you and I say, don't we have to check in for our flight tonight? Like, we just there's so much to do at all times.
That was my first time doing something like that, where I flew in and out of a city the same day.
This is like a total aside from why we're at Houston, or going to Houston, but like you carried a really cute vibe with just a purse on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
I was so jealous McBells because I wanted to have that cute cosmopolitan look, as you said, but I couldn't do it. I had to bring a duffel bag with yoga pants. I just can't go without my stuff. I was like, just a change of clothes.
Yeah.
Like, so I did have to have a
The
carry-on.
entire time before, you're like, okay, like, we're just going to go in and out. We'll just have our purses. But then you're like, well, maybe I'll pack, like, you know, just a change of outfit so that I can be more comfortable because I don't want to wear the same thing that I'm wearing.
I was wearing a skirt. I don't want to wear a skirt all day on a cold plane. And I actually was really glad I had my yoga pants. But it was less of a cute vibe than just getting off the plane with your purse.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, you're over here like, oh, I can't wait to do this again. It's like, girl, we can't because you need to pack things, apparently.
Well, I'm going to Phoenix for a day.
Yeah. I guess you can try it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you won't have to, you can wear whatever you want.
I mean, I'm literally going for like a few hours minus the travel, so.
Trying it out.
We're trying it out. Anyways, so yes, we go to Houston. We come back. You're going to Iowa within not 10 hours of our arrival back home. So,
yeah. So, you know, during our stay in the Comfort Inn in Nashville, hopes dashed, dreams dashed, ideas gone forever. You had looked up where Tyler, the Creator, was playing, I think, and came across this festival, Hinterland, which takes place outside of Des Moines, Iowa. A place that I had never been. I've never had any thoughts of going to Iowa, never had any intentions or ideas of what this place could even offer. And so I convinced one of my friends who was on this Bonnaroo trip with us, like we talked about it, like she really wanted to see Lana. I really wanted to see Tyler while he was on this Chromacopia tour. Casey Musgraves was also headlining.
pretty cool.
So I'm like, all right, let's see if we can make this work. But while we're at Bonnaroo, you and I got on the wait list for Camp Flognaw.
Yes.
Separately. Did that immediately, thinking like, oh, it'll be a wait list. Like, we'll see, we'll see what the universe has to provide. 3 days later, they're like, you're off the wait list. You're going to Camp Flognaw. I was like, okay. So anyways, this Hinterland Festival in Iowa. Now, mind you, I had to fly Allegiant because there are only so many airlines that go to Des Moines, Iowa, I believe, in a direct way.
Okay.
Yeah. So flew Allegiant for the first time in my life. Didn't know what to expect, but it was fine. It was actually, like, considering the low-cost carrier experience that I'm not a fan of, it wasn't bad. The problem, my biggest gripe with this airline is that there's no in-flight Wi-Fi.
I can't.
It was...
I'm sorry.
It was really, like... I couldn't be on TikTok. I didn't download anything. So I just listened to music going there. But coming back, I was like, I need to download some like 102 Dalmatians or something.
It's so crazy because like so long I wouldn't fly with Live Man. I'm like, did I used to be cheap or like I wasn't flying? I don't know what it was, but like now I'm like, I can't. Like I'm always paying for the in-flight.
But Allegiant as an airline, I would fly them again, actually. Like that is a thing, but I thought everyone was very nice. The plane was really clean. So I was like, okay, I don't know what to expect for Spirit or Frontier, and I hope to never find out.
Yeah, I had a reverse situation where I've decided I'm never flying coach again. I'm done with that life. But
I agree with that, but you want to do that, but there are some routes where it's like the only way you can get there direct, if you don't want to do a stop in some fucking place, and now your 2-hour flight is a 6-hour trip, is like, you got to fly these low-cost carriers.
And it's interesting because it's not interesting, but I feel like we've talked about before, like, okay, a Delta coach flight is a better experience than a Southwest flight, in my opinion. But it's better to fly Southwest because everyone's in coach. You're not better than me. You're the loser too, So I could appreciate a low-cost carrier, and Southwest does have a lot of direct flights.
I never fly Delta because Delta is one of those airlines that, for whatever reason, every route I want to go on, it requires me to stop in fucking some
I don't
ridiculous place. It's like,
Kiki, don't do layovers. So that's like number one.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Hinterland, let's talk about it.
Okay.
So, learning from our experience from Bonnaroo, my friend and I decided that not only are we going to book this trip, we are not camping. We are staying in a hotel, and we are transporting ourselves from a hotel every day to the festival. Additionally, we decided to put insurance on this trip. Now, even though Bonnaroo had like refunded us and whatnot, there were a lot of things that we'll never get reimbursed for. So, and this is also, again, summer, Iowa, it's humid, there's storms. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen. We've learned our lesson. So we've now insured this trip and booked everything to be in a refundable capacity. So while we were planning it, we decided to stay in this town called Indianola.
Okay.
Cute. They are having a hot air balloon festival. And we had been to one the year previously, the large international one in Albuquerque. So my friend and I decided, like, wouldn't it be a cute little look if, like, before we go to this festival, we'll just pop on over to this little hot air balloon festival. So we do that. We arrive, pop on over there, check it out, get some carny food. And how do I describe Des Moines? How do I describe Iowa?
First of all, secondary city.
It's adorable. It is. I was expecting flat for miles. Okay, it's like when you think of Denver, you think you're going to be surrounded by the Rocky Mountains. You arrive in Denver and you're actually surrounded by a wasteland.
I actually don't think of Denver.
It's like ugly, grass, flat, and there's a blue horse at the airport. So it's just not what you picture. I pictured Des Moines, and I thought flat and just rolling fields of corn.
I feel like I picture it like the Hocus Pocus town.
Like an eastern?
Yeah, that's how I picture it. Like, that's how I picture it.
Like an eastern seaport town?
Like someone that has like, kind of like
Oregon? Salem?
Massachusetts?
I think they were in Salem, Oregon. Like on the West Coast.
No, because I always think it's Salem, Oregon, but the Salem witch trials were in Massachusetts, right? So I feel like everyone is in Massachusetts. The point is that I picture someone that has like a clock tower and then maybe like a little body of water in the town center.
So funny that you mentioned that because I also thought that it was going to be like a movie set where it's just like one building that's 3 stories high. And then we did see a clock tower. It was a digital one that was being projected onto a side of a building. Downtown Des Moines was like that. Like there were not a ton of skyscrapers. My friend thought it would be like it would remind her of Baltimore, like that's what she was kind of envisioning it would look like. Des Moines is actually an amalgamation of cute movie film sets of different towns.
Okay.
So driving through Des Moines, it was like, I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'm at Berkeley. There were hills. There were beautiful large trees. The weather also deceiving because apparently it's supposed to be really hot this time of year. It was gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
Breezy. It felt like a California summer.
Oh, my favorite summers.
It was like barely humid. And it was just like a nice 78 degrees. It was like, okay, I'm over here like, could I live here? Could I summer in Iowa? Could I summer in Iowa? I'm like, not me coming out here next year thinking like, oh, it's going to be 78 degrees and it's 99 degrees with 75% humidity. But it was really cute. The festival itself I thought was nice. It's a single stage festival. So you don't have to transport yourself.
That's kind of nice, I guess.
It is nice, but like for the money, it's kind of like, maybe. I don't know.
Donkey. Before we move on to the festival, I do want to say you're inspiring me. We should do a secondary city tour.
Secondary
like a Columbus, Ohio.
Go check out. Okay.
that type of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, places that I would never go to.
Exactly, because those are probably really pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Des Moines also had an art. Let me back up for a second because the other thing that Des Moines has is called the Papa John Sculpture Park. Now, not Papa John's, the pizza
Thank
maker.
God.
Papa with 2 P's in the middle. So, well, 3 P's total, I suppose. So, Papa John's. And they had a bunch of sculptures that are just outdoor in this outdoor park.
Love it.
And one was Ai Weiwei's sculpture of like a tree. They had a Yayoi Kasama. And it was just a cute little vibe. We decided to go to a nice little restaurant. And
Do they have a body of water in Iowa that you could see?
They do have a river. Cool. It's called Raccoon River.
A river, huh?
It was gorgeous, actually.
That's what I'm imagining.
Beautiful. Okay. And like, I don't want to... The main thoroughfare to get like from where we were going was like we were on MLK Jr. And you know that MLK Juniors historically have the idea of like, it's a little bit more rundown. They like they don't care about those parts of town. Now, I'm sure this street is really long, but it was really nice. It was beautifully scenic the entire time we were on it.
Okay.
They had like cute little waterfront condos. I'm like, could I get a little penthouse condo and like be on the
probably
waterfront?
Easy.
Like,
Make that one of our hubs.
yeah,
Des Moines.
like, just summering in Des Moines. They had an art center, which was free to go to. And so one of the activities that we did was we went to the Des Moines Art Center. Now, if you hear those words together, I don't know what you're expecting. You're probably thinking like
a community room at a library.
A YMCA. Yeah. It was a beautiful, architecturally interesting building. It was like 3 buildings that were encircled. And they had an artist that did quilt pieces, which was cool, but they also had this other artist that I became obsessed with. Her name is Firele Baez. I'm probably saying her name wrong, but she did a lot of pieces similar to the artist that I have here, Harmonia Rosales, where it's like centering Black women. She's a Dominican artist, so it's like centering like Black women in these like beautiful European styles of artwork,
okay,
but a little bit more watercolory than Harmonia. So anyways, it was very, very surprising. Des Moines fascinated me.
Okay, apparently we need to go back. All right. Can we get to the concert now?
Okay. So day 1, let me just say that like there were a couple of artists that were going to be at Bonnaroo that were also going to be at this festival. Because this is the festival circuit, right? And so Tyler, the Creator, performed day 1. And in true irony, my friend and I decided that we were gonna... You all right?
Yeah.
She wears the same outfit she wore for day 1 of Bonnaroo, and I'm wearing my Bonnaroo swag. I'm like, Bonnaroo water bottle, got my Bonnaroo t-shirt on. Like, I'm here to do my Redo-A-Roo.
Yeah.
And Tyler has obviously, by this point, like he's released this Don't Tap the Glass album. So I wanted to see Chromacopia.
I mean, as a big surprise.
A big surprise. I wanted to see Chromacopia, so I was a little like, okay, am I going to get any of this Chromacopia? Comes out. We're VIP, which they did this really cool thing where like there's a separate pit for the VIPs, like the barricade for the VIP area, and like you don't really have to wait around all day to get there. So I felt like I was really close, so I loved it. Bring out the Chromacopia. What do you call those? Warehouse containers? Like
portables. I call them portables.
Container.
Yeah, like a trailer.
It's like a container.
Okay.
Like, you know, that you would put on a port. Anyways, words. They bring that out. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And then they hang the banner for Don't Tap the Glass over it. And I'm like, oh no, like I really wanted to see Chromacopia. I'm texting you and producer. I'm like, oh my God.
I missed it.
I'm not going to get to see Chromacopia. Tyler's an amazing performer. He's very sexual. Okay.
Yeah, you showed me the videos.
Very sexual.
I was like, ooh.
He talks about his dick a lot. So I like it a lot. I like his music. It was amazing. Stay for the whole set, leave.
Wait, but he did do Chromacopia.
He did do
You missed
Chromacopia.
that. Did he do any Don't Tap the Glass?
He did Don't Tap the Glass. And then
So
he
you got
went
a
back
twofer.
into his catalog. Tyler comes out and he's like, what the fuck am I doing in Iowa? Same. Why are we here? He's obviously very tired. He's been touring since February, I think. His tour doesn't end until September. So I think he went from a performance to Hinterland to Lollapalooza. Like he
got a break in June, so I'm not going to feel sorry for him.
He's touring a lot. So he's like, what the fuck am I doing here? There's only 3 black people here. There were more than 3. Woo! I'll just say that. I was on the lookout. Like I am everywhere. And anyone who's been to a Tyler concert knows that like his fan base is diverse and deep. Like so a lot of people I think were there to enjoy and have a good time, and he delivered a great performance.
Gels McBells.
Chromacopia, Don't Tap the Glass, went back into the catalog to Igor and some of Call Me If You Get Lost, and Flower Boy. So there were it was a great time. My friend and I had a great time. We just, we leave. Everyone leaves at the end. Ends at 11:30. Perfect. Okay, perfect time. Leaves at 11:30. We go to the parking lot. We go to the car. We get in. Go to leave. We do not move for 3 hours. 3 hours stuck in this GA
It's the
parking
worst.
lot. It was god awful. I'm pissed.
I know you are.
My friend's like trying to nap. I'm fucking pissed. Finally get to our hotel at 3 a.m., knowing that we got to do it all again the next day. Thank God there was a Starbucks right next to our hotel. So, like we go to the next day. Casey Musgraves is headlining. Now the problem is like I wanted to see Casey. I'm not like a super fan of hers, but I like her. And because we had that experience in the parking lot the night before, we're not waiting. Like we're leaving early, and like I think a lot of people had that same mentality. So, unfortunately, didn't get to see all of her set, but they fixed the parking. I think day 2, where like they finally had people out there directing and guiding traffic. It's like nobody wanted to let anyone through. It's like one of those situations where it's like everyone's been waiting for so long, no one's moving. So anyways, finally got that under control. Lana performed the 3rd day. And I am not like, I know some of her music because it's in the culture, but like, I'm not a super fan of Lana. And I also have no time understanding of how long, like she's been around for a long time, but it's like, I forget that she was around when I was in high school, basically.
I mean, literally, how old is she? No, never mind.
She's got to be in her, I think she's either late 30s, early 40s.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. And like, so anyways, my friend really wanted to see her. So it was really, I was like, okay, I'm looking forward to this. This is someone I wouldn't pay to see, like why I enjoy festivals. Before she comes out, Bleachers performed.
Yeah.
Now, in our post rundown of this, you were like, who did you see any good acts? And I'm like, yeah, there's this band called Bleachers. And you look at me and you're like, you mean Jack Antonoff's Bleachers? I'm like, wait. You're telling me that dweeby guy that I saw on the stage was Jack Antonoff, like super produced? So yeah, great performance, great energy. Odd juxtaposition with Lana because it's like Bleachers comes on and then Lana. She was fucking an hour late setting up this Courage the Cowardly Dog type set, where it was just like this like haunted looking house. Anyways, she came on late. Whatever. Her voice matches, her live performance voice matches her album voice. Great.
Respect.
But she's awkward. She's an awkward performer. Like, she doesn't have the engagement, I think.
Yeah.
And people are obsessed with her in a way that I don't relate to with any artist. So they were crying.
Everyone's so depressed.
People are just like so weird. I'm just like, whatever. We left early for that too, though, because again, I'm not trying to be here for 3 hours.
I'm like trying to think if there's an artist I'm so obsessed with that I would cry when I saw them. Like I was really excited when I saw Taylor Swift and didn't cry.
No, because that's weird behavior.
I love Megan Thee Stallion. I didn't cry. I'm like, is there anyone that I love that much? I love K-Dot. I've seen Drake. I've seen K-Dot. I've seen all these people. No, I've never cried.
No, that's bizarre.
But honestly, I'm not a good measurement. I don't really cry that much, so. But yeah.
I just like don't understand a level of fandom to that degree. I mean, there were people...
You know who I'm a fan of to that degree? Guess.
Who you're a fan? Nicolandria.
No, I was going to say Barack Obama.
I was going to say that first. I was like, I was definitely going to say that first.
Freaking Barack.
Damn.
Yeah, I might. I am a fan of to that degree, so.
I did see him speak once, but I didn't cry.
Oh, I don't know if I'd cry.
No, because that's weird behavior.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it was so funny because it's like people wait all day. People in GA, and maybe some in VIP, they wait all day in these barricades to see, like Lana's day was the only day that was sold out in like the single day tickets. So we knew it was kind of going to be a lot more crowded and a little bit more clusterfucky, but like people wait all day to like stand as close as possible to the stage.
It's just one stage.
It's one stage.
So like, I guess they're seeing all the other acts anyways.
It's one stage and it's down this hill.
Okay.
So that was the other thing. It's like, I don't want to really leave because I got to freaking hike up and down this mountain practically.
Got it.
So you have a great view actually, like if you sit anywhere on the grass, and then there's like this VIP area over to the side, which also has like a slight grassy area where you can kind of see the stage. So it's like the venue itself was nice because it had that vista of looking down at this amphitheater type stage, and the sound was also, I think, improved that as well. But like, if you want to be in the, I guess what they call the barricade of like, you want to be on the ground level, like close up to the stage, you have to pretty much camp out all day.
Yeah, I don't
and
want
it's
to do
like,
that
I'm not doing that. So VIP was the way to go because you didn't have to do that to get that like closer experience. But like, it was funny because you would see these like fights break out of like these arguments of like people touching each other. And it's like, you're camping out to see this artist. That's going to happen. And like, it was just, you know, the things people want to get upset over was just interesting. But the food was whatever. Would I go back? So my friend and I decided that we would go back. It was worth the investment. And we would consider camping.
I'm not doing that. I'm done with camping. That's never happening to me. But I would consider going to this place.
One of the things that was interesting was that they did this game where it was like a scavenger hunt during the festival. And so my friend decided to participate in this because you could get like for next year, you could get like the upper echelon VIP tickets or whatever, called Saints tickets. But like you would get these clues and you would like go try and find these QR codes to like collect your badge. And then like you could get like a shirt and like a pin and like you could enter into this.
That's kind of cool.
It was cool. But the problem is like some of the clues to like get your points involved, you know, like going to morning yoga at 8 a.m. Well, you're not doing that unless you camp there because I'm not driving.
I don't care about pins and shirts that much. I'll just buy them. So, I mean, hey, if you guys want to camp, I don't know if you're inviting me or not. I'll be at the hotel. I'll meet you there.
I want to try camping because I feel like they have these like campfire sets that are inside the campgrounds. What I will also say is like the porta potty experience was nice. Like they had VIP toilets, but like when you were walking to the venue, you like had a bit of a walk from the parking lot. So if you needed to go to the bathroom on the way, like they had porta potties. And so they were actually really well maintained and nice. Like that was interesting. I think it's because it's smaller. It's not as ginormous as Bonnaroo. So I think I want to try camping. But again,
go for it.
Des Moines fooled me because it had this beautiful weather, and every person I spoke to was like, it's never like this. It's so nice. This is great weather we got this year. It's never like this. And it's like, okay, I know that I'm telling myself it's going to be like this next time.
Well, we can't go next year because we're trying to go to UK.
Yeah.
And I feel like camping is cursed when it comes to me. I tried something and I didn't enjoy it, so I'm not going to try it again.
Oh my
in
God.
that level.
This is the other problem.
You're not going to convince me to do it because the last time you convinced me to camp, I've been a destroyed person.
This is the
Stop trying to make fetch happen, okay? I'm not going camping.
This is the other problem. Like, if Bonnaroo had happened, it would have been
But
epic.
it didn't.
And it
But it
didn't.
didn't.
And that's
So-
what's, for me, disappointing. But I will say my friend and I agreed that it did do some healing of our soul.
Well, congratulations,
We ran
I'm
into
jealous.
several people who also were at Bonnaroo who ended up coming to this festival. So it was like we were with our people, you know?
Yeah, but what it does, I'm not camping, but what I do think about is maybe there's other festivals in other areas that are well known that we wouldn't think about, like Hinterland. I'm sure people go there every year, right? Like it's been a few years running.
Yeah.
So maybe there's one in a different secondary city. So
Maybe.
I'm interested.
I mean, that's the thing. I was looking at like their past lineups because the scavenger hunt had like, go look at our past posters. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't think that they've had a lineup as good as the one that they have
yeah.
this year. Like these are like A-list artists and
Right.
performers. Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros headlining is not drawing me to Iowa. Like,
No,
I'm not
actually, never mind.
doing
Because I need a
that.
big name.
Yeah.
I need a big name. The only reason I went to Bonnaroo is because of all of the big names. Like, well, technically, I bought the tickets beforehand, but I thought either Tyler or Kendrick were going to be there or
but
both.
you know Bonnaroo's going to have big names and it's going to have a
Supposedly.
diverse set. Like, it's going to have
that's-
a lot. I mean, I ran into people that were at Insane Clown Posse, and I know we were upset we did not go
I
to
mean,
that.
because it was like one of the only concerts that was there. Anyways, I won't do Coachella because I don't want to be in the desert.
I just like don't.
Not interested.
I've never been. Coachella was one of those things where, like, in high school I wanted to do it. Now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, that sounds fucking miserable.
It is miserable because I've been in Palm Desert in April and it's miserable. So why would I
Yeah.
want to be there?
Well, I just feel like the vibe's off too. That's the thing.
Yeah,
about,
because now it's like influencer
Yeah.
and so like celebrity vibes, which hey, it could be cool, but like I think they do that thing where like they raise all the prices like to a significant amount, not just the tickets, like
Yeah.
the surrounding area. So I actually don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's other ones. Is my point. I'm not gonna. Anyways, but yeah, that wraps up this week's travels for us. We have a series of things on the calendar to the end of the year. It's a lot. Like actually when you look at each weekend, and I actually have more that I'm adding to it until
no.
you go to Japan. Because if there's one thing I'm going to do is make sure I get my pence, my penance for all the dog watching I'm doing, right? Not penance, but like, hey, you know, if I got 3 weeks on the books, then, you know, you guys got 3 days every weekend leading up to it. So,
okay. Tell me about it.
well,
What are we doing?
I can't. Well, I'll tell you, but maybe I'll cut it out. But let's go look at the calendar. Let's see. Hold on.
Okay.
Calendar. Next weekend, you and producer travel. The following weekend, just for that one day, I'm in Phoenix. Okay. Then getting into September, I'm going to San Diego for a few days. Then I think I'm going to go back to California. Going back to the rest of this month, actually, we're all going to a concert on one day. And then I'm going to another concert in September.
What concert?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't remember. Okay. So then at some point in October, I'm going to Utah. And then at the middle of October, you leave for Japan. And then after you get back from Japan, that next less than 4 days later, I go to Phoenix for a couple of days. I get back from Phoenix.
We go to LA.
And then we head to LA. And then once we get back from LA, it's we have a week, and then the next week is Thanksgiving.
So you've actually made this horrible.
Why?
You have 14 trips between now and November.
No, I have like 4. Phoenix. What?
And you're complaining about routines.
Well, I know, but I want to go to San Diego. I like to summer, and it's just 3 days, so it's just a Friday to Sunday thing. It's not like a lot, I think. I fly out on Friday, come back Sunday. So,
Okay.
you know, routines. Okay. Also, you guys are like ruining my Halloween plans. What are we gonna do? We're not even gonna enjoy any of the spooky season because you guys are gone for half the month. Anyways, Thanksgiving, and then finally in December we rest. Although we were talking about maybe heading to Dallas for part of the month, just to like, you know, really enjoy the holiday season with our family without being there for actual Christmas. Then comes 2026, and no travel plans for January, but February we're supposed to go to Louisiana. So,
Marlins.
okay. So anyways, that wraps up our travel for this week. That's why I said that, because we have So many things happening every weekend. Yours is more long form travel. Mine's more, like I said, secondary city travel because I've never been to Utah and I want to go.
I really think I want to check out Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I've been to Zion.
I've not been anywhere.
Get on my knees, pray. I'm trying to find another way. I gotta get up out this jungle, niggas killing just to eat. Them lies ain't playing fair, so it's been getting I don't give my heart away. This shit hurt me every day.
Next topic, I want to circle back very briefly to our issue with the Patterson House and Catbird Seat in Tennessee. This happened in June 14th to be exact. I looked back at all the receipts, I pulled all the information together because I had always planned, and I probably mentioned it on the podcast before, that I was going to report them to the Tennessee State Tax Board for fraud.
Yes.
And I took a while to do it because, as I explained in our group chat, it's tiresome being a hater. You know, it takes a lot of energy, time, commitment to do that.
Yeah, I think we should recap really quickly that we went to this restaurant.
Well, I'm going to start. This doesn't relate to the tax fraud, but my friend brought it up recently because I was mentioning what the story's going to go into. And she's like, one of the things I couldn't believe about that is that when you ordered your cocktail, the waiter took it upon himself to not put the order in and wait for everyone at your table to order at different times. So I was waiting for like 30, 45 minutes for my cocktail. No one asked you to do that. That's not your job, and that's absolutely diabolical. And she told me that she tells a bunch of people that, and she's like, can you believe that happened? And everyone's on my side that that's absolutely ridiculous. So that was number one. But what really happened and why I reported that was that they had charged 25% tax, basically a blanket tax on all of our food and drinks. In Nashville, you do get charged 25% tax on your alcohol consumption. It's like the 9.75% city tax plus an additional 15%. So it's like really close to 25%. But food should be taxed at 9.75%. So when we got our bill, everything was charged at 25%. And they basically tried to gaslight us, play dumb, like they didn't understand what the issue was, that's the way the system was set up. And like, we probably spent, I said 30 to 45 minutes in my complaint, but it actually probably was well over an hour. Not even arguing. I'm going to say arguing with them, but like I don't feel like we were being difficult. I feel like they were being purposefully obtuse and trying, it was very basic math because it was close to $400 and the tax was close to $100. That's as easy as a 25% calculation as you get. So even if you don't understand exactly the mechanics behind it, anyone can look at a bill and say, yeah, that is weird that you're charged more tax than the tip that you were going to leave, right? So the fact that they played in our face bad, okay? So that's the summation. And then when we went to go leave, finally, after they're like, well, we don't know, but what we'll go ahead and do is we'll give you $40 off to basically take away from the extra tax that the system charges you. And we can finally be free from the shackles of this prison. And as we're going to leave, the manager stops us and says, oh, I figured it out. I hacked the mainframe and someone had categorized every single thing in our system as alcohol instead of separating food and alcohol. So it was charging a blanket 25% tax. Now, mind you, this restaurant is packed to the gills. It's two restaurants, sister restaurants, on the same floor of a hotel. We saw Nicole Kidman. You saw Nicole Kidman there. Like, this is a very well-known place in Nashville. It was there was a bunch of people there when we arrived and a bunch of people when we left. Like, in and out, constant patrons. So how many people, not even just that night, but overall, since you didn't even know it was an issue, have you been charging this erroneous tax fee to? So, and then you just happened to solve it. We were the first people to, I don't know whatever.
Well, it's one of those things where, again, a lot of people will put their card down to pay for the bill. They might not look at the receipt. They pay the bill, they write, they leave. My friend who was paying the bill was going to do that.
Yes.
And we were like, no, just take a look and double check. I mean, you ordered a couple of drinks. They've got this weird tax thing. Thank God we looked because that's when you notice that, like, it's a little odd that our tax is $100.
I only noticed because when we went to go tip, the tip was going to be like $75. And I was like, that's so high. Why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, the tax is higher than the tip that we're leaving, and that's 20%. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I agree. And I also think the thing is that this is primarily a cocktail bar with like a, what do you kind of menu? A tapas type menu. Now, we're big backs. So we ordered, so maybe, like, my thinking is that, like, most people aren't ordering enough food to notice how odd the 25% tax is.
Yeah.
Whereas we ordered a varietal of dishes.
It was dinner for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was like one of those, a small scheme that like most people aren't going to notice if they get charged 25% on like a couple of tapas when like most of their bill is cocktails.
And the waiter was like, well, I'm just a waiter. I don't know. It's like, you know how to calculate 20%
Yes. Oh, and he
of your
called out,
tip.
whoa. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a ridiculous person because I don't want to pay 25%. I don't want to pay $100 in effing tax. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So, and we didn't have that many cocktails. Okay, so long story short, these people are gonna pay. Okay? You're gonna hear from you haven't heard the last from Kiki, okay? So it's been a couple months. I told you this week on my to-do list was to air all my grievances. And so this was one of my grievances that needed to be aired. So I finally put pen to paper. I asked one of our friends that had a picture of the original receipt so I could get all the details right. And I did ask ChatGPT for help, and I explained ChatGPT the whole situation. They wrote up a nice little excerpt. I added some additional details. First thing I did, reported them to the state tax board in Tennessee. And it's an online form. So I reported them. And then I thought, what if the tax board doesn't care? What if they don't do anything? Let me go ahead and just Google news station Nashville, see what they got. Contact us for them. Oh, you have a news story? Yeah, sure. So I put in a form to a news station in Nashville as well. Just explain basically the same thing I explained to the tax board. And I was like, if you want pictures of the receipts, I'll send them to you. Well, they emailed me back. And they said, would you be willing to talk about this on camera? This could make a very interesting story. Now, this gets back to what I said. It's very tiresome being a hater because I actually don't want to talk about it on camera. That's a lot of work. It's a really random side quest, like just really adding to my lore. But I'm like, I really don't have the energy for that, I haven't even finished airing my second grievance that I still need to do this week. But after writing up that email to 2 different people, I told you, I was like, dude, they played us bad. Like, they have to have a reckoning, okay, for what they did to us in that moment. So
the dumbfounded, Bambi-eyed waitress, hostess, manager, infuriated me every time. It was just
they were wasting our time so bad, and every time they came back with no resolution and just more stupid stuff. And we waited so long. We had like 20 minutes for you to come back with pictures on your iPhone of the system showing that everything's being charged 25. Like, ma'am, I don't care what it says. Like,
you understand the basic principle of what I'm saying. I don't understand why I have to explain
am I over here doing mathematician? Like, I'm not a mathematician. I'm not Albert Einstein. I'm not that guy that did the I don't know, Alan Turing or whatever. Like, I'm not that person. Like, please. So I did respond, and I told him I would be willing to talk about it on camera. So TBD on that. We'll keep you updated. And if the news story drops,
you'll be the second people to find out.
You will. So,
well, I'm excited to see where that goes. I like that side quest.
It could be interesting.
I think it's at this point it is a matter of principle because it's like
no, they ripped so many people off. I know they did.
Like it definitely is like a case of, in my mind, I'm like, this is a case of embezzlement.
Yeah.
Like intentional or not, don't care.
Like let's say it's $20 every single table a night for a few months because they'd only been open for a little bit in that location. We don't even know if it carried over to the other location. $20 a table, even if that's probably a couple thousand a night.
Yeah. For sure.
You're done. And how, if I was a customer that didn't pick, you're not going to give me my money back. What are you going to do? Call my credit card company, ask for who this card is, say you owe me a refund, and go back, and you're not doing that. I know you didn't. I mean, based on how dumbfounded the supposed manager was, she clearly wouldn't have the skills to do that. So
it was also the comment that she made. I was in the restroom, but apparently she made this comment about how it hasn't been happening for that long, as if to presuppose that this could have been happening for a really long time and we shouldn't be worried that it's only really just recently that this was happening.
Yeah. I don't believe you.
I don't believe that at all.
How would you know?
Yeah.
You didn't even know what we were talking about for the past hour and a half.
Hack the mainframe.
Anyways, okay. 2 things left on my agenda.
Yes.
We don't have to get into it yet, but we did see Weapons last night.
Yeah.
I actually liked it. I liked the setup of the movie. It wasn't what it purported to be.
I was anxious because I like scary movies, but I was like, am I going to be too scared? Like, Barbarian was not scary so much as it was creepy and
No,
evolved.
You let out a really big scream when we were watching Barbarian.
There was a scary moment.
There was a big jump scare.
Yeah. But it evolved into something where it's what is even going on with this movie?
It got pretty camp.
Yeah.
It was gross.
Yes, I'm not a gore fan either. We've talked about this, but like, so I was like, I'm a little scared. It looked horrifying. Children are also just inherently terrifying in scary movies. So I was like, I have no idea what to expect.
That lead child actor, he was good. He was good actor.
Yeah.
He was living in some hell.
I was living in a nightmare.
This freaking kid, man.
I did not like the child narrating. It was like, why is it so quiet? Like, can you be a little louder, kid? So as we were driving home, we were talking about like some of the plot points. I'm like, why did this happen? Why did that? Once you get to the end of the film and you start asking questions, it kind of devolves a little bit. You're like, okay, that doesn't really hold up, I guess.
Yeah, number one for me, Josh Brolin, too old to be a dad, honestly. Like, he's grandpappy right now, but okay, I mean, whatever. This is like so random, but I did not like the font they used in the ending credits. It was giving cheap, like free license. I just didn't like it. I'm just gonna say it out there. And then I don't want to do spoilers yet because it is genuinely new.
It's but it'll come out next week by the time this airs.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that I was talking about is like in the forest when the clown appears. Was that like, why was the clown appearing at all?
The clown is the aunt.
Yeah, but why is she appearing?
I think she's out there doing stuff.
Right. But like, okay, so in the teacher's ceiling, in Josh Brolin's dream, right? These are all dreams. And then, not in a dream, but possibly a hallucination of some sort, in the junkies forest.
I think
why those people?
Okay, so I didn't see her on the teacher's ceiling. Oh, she's probably watching her little minions. She knows they're coming out. Maybe it's like I don't know what it's called. Like, it's almost, I'm not going to say the word that I'm thinking of, but like, because she's putting her witchcraft out there, it's like a sense, like a sixth sense of your own body, something, recognizing that something's attached to you in a way, even if you've never seen that thing. So,
okay.
Mostly for jump scares, but I definitely see the connection. I can definitely see the connection that like, she's, but it's like your apparition is out there either watching things or it's being put out there because you're binding yourself to these people through your witchcraft is how I would think about it.
Because I was thinking about like when she has the mom go collect a piece of hair. It's like, why doesn't she just kill this lady? Why is she playing this like weird?
Well, she doesn't have to kill her. She can do.
Well, and I guess
maybe she likes her practice.
And I was thinking that she probably didn't want it to happen like right outside her house.
Yeah,
like,
the lady being a drunken loser and trying to stake out a house is not a good idea. Being wasted on a stakeout is actually a horrible idea. And I think my main takeaway, I told you guys in the theater, was, dude, that junkie, he played a junkie so good. I was like, dude, he's living in a hell. That is like my sober testimony is watching that movie. And like, I'll never do those drugs because when he was walking around in the rain looking for a fix, I was like, bro, you're living a worse life than that kid right now. So
I appreciated the comedic beats. It was very random, but it was like, there were a lot of there were several moments in this film where it was like, I'm laugh out loud.
Yes.
Like, cackling in this theater because of what they're doing.
I agree. It was very funny, somewhat intentionally.
Yeah.
And I like the different point of views.
I did like that storytelling mechanism. At first, I was like, oh God, I actually don't want to live the same day. Like, I don't want to do that. But then as it went on, I was like, okay, this is intriguing.
That was good.
I was intrigued. Josh Brolin's dream, where there's like an AK-47 style gun on top of this house with the 217. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was...
I was like thinking, I'm like, oh, is this about to be some allegory for like a school shooting type thing?
Yeah, I was
so
like,
random.
oh, it's aliens and they've abducted the kids and they're turning them into weapons. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, and his son's this gun and like... You know, the other kids, one's going to be a knife and they're going to be doing some video game style fighting. Like, Tron Legacy style. I don't know what I was thinking. It was not that. Okay. So that was weapons. I liked it. One more random thing before we get into our question of the week. Our nail lady is back from a long trip. My nails look great. They're so sharp in the corners. I've cut my skin and I've ripped my underwear a couple of times. Like, ow! That's a little too sharp. Like, I'm actually hurting myself, so hopefully you're okay, Boobus. Okay. Question of the week.
Okay.
We got a question from one of our faithful favorite viewers, and the question was, what is our curly hair routine? So, mine is much simpler than yours on a day-to-day basis, but I don't know how to say it. Like, yours is more complex, but it sets the tone for your week. Mine's more simple, but I do it every day. Yours is more research and science based. Mine's more vibes, and I don't have time for this shit based. So, first and foremost, I'll go first. You can go second.
Sure.
Okay. So I use a variety of products mainly because I like to try different things. Sometimes I like the different look of my hair. Like sometimes I want it to be poofier, sometimes I want it to be slicker curls, whatever. So the basis of my day-to-day routine is a leave-in conditioner and a curl cream. Sometimes I can do a mousse, sometimes I can do a curl reviver, but for like a very basic routine, leave-in conditioner, brush through, curl cream, put on the hair, brush through with a Denman brush. And I could leave it at that. I do use like a variety of different detangler brushes. I have a wide tooth comb, like all of that. But like I think the basics is detangler brush with leave-in conditioner, detangler brush, curl cream, Denman brush, zhuzh them out. And then I do lay my edges with an edge cream. So
It's so complex.
okay, so the basics are any leave-in conditioner brushed out with a detangler brush. So put it on your hair and then brush it out. And then put on some curl cream and then brush that out with a Denman style, like parted the way that I want it to be.
Okay.
And then that's basically it. And then I do like lay my edges. In terms of like washing, I'd say maybe like once a week. Sometimes every week and a half, which depends, but I usually do once a week. I wash my hair with shampoo and conditioner.
Wow.
But sometimes I use a purple shampoo, like maybe every other wash. I use a purple shampoo for my blonding.
Okay. I wash my hair once a week. I use either a protein-based shampoo and conditioner, usually like a rice protein, or I use a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. So my go-to products are Not Your Mother's
I love that
Curl
one.
Talk
Yeah.
line, which I really like. I like their shampoos, their conditioners, as well as their styling products.
Not Your
We'll get
Mother's
into
Curl
that.
Talk. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
Curl Talk. And then I also use a lot of Curlsmith products.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the important thing is that my curl products all have to be sulfate, paraben, and silicone free. Silicone free is probably the most important because a lot of conditioners will have silicones in them, as well as styling products, and I don't want that in my hair. So I wash my hair once a week. I do try to also alternate between, like, if I'm doing a shampoo and conditioner that's more of like a rice protein shampoo and conditioner, then I'll do like a moisturizing deep conditioner for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Not Your Mother's Curl Talk, again, not the Curl Talk, Not Your Mother's Naturals line has a cherry apple blossom deep conditioner that's like a 2 to 5 minute hair mask that smells really good and just feels really good. So I like using that because I can be kind of lazy. I don't want to be in the shower for hours on end, you know, like, so I try to, you know, alleviate some of the burden that is styling my hair. So once I've got clean hair, I will apply a leave-in conditioner to my hair strands. And then I go in with any variety of styling products. Sometimes I feel like using a styling foam from Redo-A-Roo, I think is what it's called, which is a new product or brand that I'm trying. Sometimes I'll use a cream and then like a mousse. Again, I'll use Curlsmith, and then I love the Curl Talk mousse. That's one of my favorites. I picked up some new Curl Talk products while I was in Des Moines. They have like a gel hairspray, and they also have a different, like, stronger hold gel. I diffuse my hair typically after I've put my styling products in, and I do try to apply my products to soaking wet hair. Mm-hmm. So I do try and diffuse my hair because I don't want it to be like dripping all over the place. And my product combination is leave-in conditioner, maybe a cream or a foam, and then a gel product to kind of, or a mousse to like set the products, and then go in with my diffuser.
And then do you brush your hair?
So that's a great question. So when I put in the leave-in conditioner, I will use there's like a Risos curl brush that I have, which is, I forget how they call it, but it's got like, it's like flexible basically. Mm-hmm. And I'll distribute the product throughout my hair. And then I section my hair. I do it a couple of different ways, but like sometimes I'll just do, like, I'm lazy and I just want to like you know, and just let my, like right now, this is air dried. I didn't diffuse it, and I just kind of let it do what it was going to do. But I do 3 sections, and I do like the back section, the middle section, and then I do my bangs because I'm trying to get a little bit of volume and keep the definition of my curls. So I'll brush my leave-in conditioner moisturizer, right, in my hair moisturizer into the hair. Then I'll section it. Once I've sectioned it, then I'm putting the styling product in. So I'm putting my foam, and then I'm putting my gel or my mousse. If I'm using mousse, I might wait until the end to kind of do it. But anyways, I put my styling product in. And with the styling product in, then I'm taking smaller sections and I'm using my Denman brush to provide the definition of the curl. And I go through each section. Okay, I'm in my bottom section, foam, Denman brush each smaller section. Then I go to the middle section. Once it's all done, I flip my hair over. I scrunch, make sure want to make sure everything looks okay. And then I go in and I diffuse it.
Okay. And then next day, third day, what do you do differently, if anything?
Nothing.
You just leave it.
So yeah, like Curlsmith has a like curl revitalizer products that I like, and I think that they work okay. But one of the things that like if I see like sections where I'm like, oh, I'd want to like redefine that, I literally will just spray it with water, and then like have basically like the product will reactivate itself.
Yeah.
So I don't need to really do anything, and I just kind of let my hair go for the week. You know.
Love it.
Let it do what it wants to do. If I feel like styling it up again, I might like spray my hair, put a little bit of like flexible jelly so it's not too tough, and then kind of like maybe like re-scrunch it. But the point is if I want to revitalize the curl, like I have to make sure that I put like moisture back onto the hair before I add any product, or just kind of like see how it dries and kind of live with it.
Awesome.
Right now I think it looks pretty good for air drying it, and it feels soft. It was so dirty and crunchy when I got back from Des Moines. I was like, oh my God, I need to wash my hair immediately. Still waited 2 days. But yeah.
All right.
Hopefully that helps. One of the things I will say is that during COVID, I went on this natural curly hair journey. So for anyone who's ever interested in this, there are a ton of really great YouTube creators that will also sample products. And the thing about curly hair and that you mentioned, it's like I like to try different things.
Yeah.
So I can have like a great hair day using one combination,
right,
and I'll go to try and do it again, and I'm using a completely different combination because I just want to try different things and I never remember, and I just find products individually that I enjoy the smell, the texture, the outcome of. And so, you know, I've kind of landed in, I like mousses, which was not something I used to like when I was using like the lock method. So like finding out that I like mousses, or I like putting on a leave-in conditioner and then a cream sometimes, depending on the outcome I want. Like you just have to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
And that's why I like the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk line, because it's pretty affordable. So you can, dabble a lot with like the different types of products that they have and figure out like what kind of combination you like before you get into like the $25 Curlsmith products, like you can sample it out with the $8 Curl Talk products and find out what combination. So you can certainly Google curly hair girls on YouTube and get a lot of, their input. I find people who have like a similar curl pattern or curl texture, hair texture, and see what works for them, see how they're doing it, and replicate that. And that's kind of how I learned.
I too like using a lot of different products for my hair, my body, my makeup, and what ends up happening to me is that instead of like finding a new product, like this is the holy grail.
This is it?
No, I've just found 7 products that I really like and need to have on hand at all times. So now it's like my top 7 lotions, my top 5 blushes, my top 3 foundations, like every single time. Because like I love trying. This is how I ended up with like a really expensive makeup collection, because I'm like, oh, let me try this foundation. Like I used to watch a lot of beauty YouTube. Like, let me try this. And so same with like my hair. It's like, okay, well, today it's this, today it's that, the next day it's this.
Yeah.
Just change it up, and now I have a whole bucket underneath my sink of all the different hair products that I look and I say, what am I going to use today?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I have 4 different gels. Mm-hmm. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. And then when run runs out, unfortunately, I'm not a sane enough person to say, just use the rest of what you have. I'm like, well, no, that's my backlog. So, like, I will use them, but I still got to go get the other one and replenish the supply. So, anyways, okay. Well, I think this was a pretty good episode. It does feel good to be back. It does feel good to get caught up with each other, even though we already did, with our viewers on the past few weeks. I feel like in the upcoming weeks for me, outside of all of our travel, is like really getting back to my beauty routine. So like I felt like a piece of shit because my nails look like shit for the past like few weeks. And I didn't get them done for almost like a month because our nail lady was out and I had someone else do them. I didn't like them. They were long, they were scraggly, they were crooked. I was like, and mind you, I kept getting compliments on them. So I'm like, oh, you people don't know what's good or bad. So I got my nails done. I'm getting my hair done at some point this month. I got my massage. I'm getting another massage this month. So I'm getting back onto my massage game to try to treat my injuries. I'm back in the gym this week. I got to get this diet back together, guys. Like, it's bad. And what else is in my beauty routine? I think that's it. But I'm excited that like I feel like I'm feeling more like myself again. Good. So yeah.
I'm going to try and slowly get these 20 pounds off again before Vlogna. That's my goal.
Okay, so this is probably something I'm going to cut out, but maybe not. What I'm trying to focus on this next one is that I feel like where I'm a failure is I keep doing this. This next thing is my goal, and then that thing comes, and I'm like, great, made it. Bulk up again, right? And then now I'm trying to lose that same 20 pounds. I've been losing and gaining the same 15, 20 pounds all year. I'm like, dude, my body must be like, I can't. How are you doing this? Like, how are you this weight again? You were literally 15 pounds lighter 1 month ago. That's insane, So some of it's probably water. It's not water. It's all Indian food. It's so fucking Indian food. But I'm like, so yes. But also, I'm like, no, actually, I want to get it off for, like, just good. Because I'm like, just really tired of gaining. And, like, so I'm, like, I agree with you, like, for Vlogna. But, like, I'm, like, actually, buy Vlogna, but not for Vlogna is what I'll say.
Yes.
Because, like, I just can't do it anymore. Because I feel like that North Star is making it so that when I finally reach it, I'm like binge like a crazy person and eat Waffle House a bunch and eat all this stuff and just go get In-N-Out. Why not some McDonald's, Like, instead of like, finding a way to do it and then like you're still enjoying those things, but like maybe not
gorging.
Maybe you're not hungry anymore and you don't need to have another piece of naan, Like, maybe this isn't going to be the last piece of naan you ever have in your entire life and you can just not do that. So I agree with you. I'm with you. We're doing it. And, we're doing it before my next birthday for sure. Because I'm like, I can't do another year of this yo-yoing. Like, it's too much.
I just feel like I need to get back into cooking and actually working out again. And I just haven't done that. I haven't done yoga in so long, since Bonnaroo, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you have any weekly ins or outs?
Not that I want to discuss right now. I haven't thought about any. Do you?
Yeah. So in for me this week are all of the TikTok girlies doing their Hamilton window trend. It's objectively hilarious. The fact that the men have responded by performing Eliza's part is also objectively hilarious. I really appreciate this because it's like the randomness of the internet is like why and when and how and why. Again, like who thought of this? Who was just listening to this 10-year-old play soundtrack, this musical soundtrack, and was like, I'm gonna go pencil my beard in and sneak out this window. I've been getting a lot of enjoyment from that, so I really appreciate it. Out for me this week, delusional women who fall in love with their psychiatrist. What
oh my
is
God.
wrong with you? Just also like we don't have to put everything online.
You know what's crazy is that you could do these things and like write down your feelings in a book and then like put it away and like
are meant
not publish
for
it.
Your eyes old. Like it's okay. I understand that you thought. I understand that sometimes we think that like no, I can't be the only one who's suffering through this. You know what?
The silent sufferers are the real baddies. Yes.
It's okay to suffer in silence,
Agreed.
honestly, for some things. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I feel like I've been watching a lot of Judge Judy on TikTok, so it's nice when I come up for air from that and I get put into other parts of the zeitgeist.
Yeah, I've been consuming so much Nicolandria content. I told you guys I didn't even see a preview for Weapons, and producers like, that's insane. It's literally all over the FYP. I'm like, I've seen nothing but Nicolandria edits, and then the UK had their first American contestant and winner of Love Island UK.
Let's talk about the fact that you did admit that your involvement with Nicolandria Nation actually did prove my theory that you are actually one suggestion away from being in a cult.
Did I spend $250 on bikinis that won't look good on me and probably won't fit to support these people? I don't know.
Okay.
Just saying. But I'm like, you know what? Next summer I'm coming for you. Okay, I'm not ready now. But they're going to hang in my closet until I am ready next summer. So,
see, we are all just one little whisper away from, we're actually all in a cult. So.
Well, I want to go to the bathroom. So
it's good catching up. I'm glad. Like, I bet this probably felt a lot better than your solo episode, having my energy to bounce off of and ask questions.
Yeah, it did. Thank you for joining us.
As always, stay pretty.
Stay prideful. Bye.
You can't finesse. Bitch, I move smart like a motherfucking Tesla. I'm clutching this Glock, do I look like a wrestler? Get put on your back, tryna act like a flexer. Hold on, wait, this Glock take 'em out like a date. She give me the pussy, I just want the face. Fuck her real good, put the bitch in her place. I'm high in the bitch, but my mind up in space.